Brothers and sisters, in the last months, the last year, I am hearing from more and more pastors of all denominations that they are afraid to preach the gospel in this country because they know half the church will walk out. And you know what I'm talking about. We are in a state of such deceit, such dishonesty, such lack of love for anybody but ourselves, that it is almost impossible to preach the gospel in this country. And you just heard it. The first reading said to love your neighbor, but Jesus takes it to the nth degree. He says, no, love your enemy. Is there anything happening in America today that would make you think we believe that? And we dare to call ourselves a Christian country? This is absurd. If we do not preach the gospel now, we will be held liable for what is happening. And if Christians in the next 4 years do not decide to finally be like Jesus, then let's just give up on this whole Christian thing. It doesn't mean anything. It's just going to church on Sunday. And we have to stop coming here pretending we're following Jesus when we are just like everybody else, into power and money and deceit and war. If we do not preach the gospel, if we do not begin to live the gospel now, as Jesus just said, then let's forget it. Let's stop pretending that we care about Jesus or we're imitating Jesus. We are in a very scary position. And the whole world sees it, except America, because we're in the middle of it. And we have too much to lose. Brothers and sisters, I can say it because I'm not the pastor here. But thank God half of you have not walked out. It tells me that you still desire, truthfully, to follow Jesus in the kind of radical teaching that we just heard. And I think the next 4 years could be years of great mobilization, recognition, conversion, transformation. Because now the issues are too big and too real and right in front of us every day. And we live in a state where we might even tolerate a wall being built on our south border and dare to call ourselves Christians. We cannot be silent any longer, and do not expect me to be silent, and I don't expect you to be either. It's going to take courage. It's going to take each of you making little decisions in your little world to love not just your neighbor, but even to pray for your enemy, to pray for this president, to pray for our country. If we can't do those little things, what does it all mean? You know, brothers and sisters, there's no such thing as being apolitical. You say, oh, we shouldn't talk about politics. To not talk about it is to affirm the status quo, which is to be political. Every one of us in this room has power. And to pretend we don't, and that we can just be silent, is to be political. It is to say what's happening is okay. Well, it isn't. Because I just raised the gospel book above you, you stood up and you said, thanks be to God. So now let's say thanks be to God with our lives. Thank you for allowing me to preach the gospel.